Alright guys, so we're taking a look at Venus Williams serve. One of the best players to ever play, and also one of the best female serves to ever play. And I found it pretty interesting just having a watch of her serve, just to see why she was so dominant on this shot. And a few things stood out to me straight away just watching her practice the serve in this tournament. And I'm going to go through a few of these things with you. Maybe you can implement these into your own game. So one of the things I really like about her serve is how relaxed she is. So if I just wind this serve back, so we'll get into the whole motion. So we can see how she starts with the ball on the strings. She's got the weight on the back leg. She takes the weight off the left foot and she raises that toe. Very common in a pinpoint serve. She's got her eyes gazed on the target, and now we can see that there's also a slight bend in her right arm, and that's just that. What that's telling me is that arm's relaxed right from the beginning. All right, so if you're struggling with tension on your serve, see if you can keep that arm a little bit bent and nice and relaxed. We can also see that the left arm kind of hangs down in a relaxed state as well. All right, so now let's have a little look at the next phase. She's rocking back, and then notice how she looks up straight away. So her eyes start to gaze up. The ball toss arm is still relaxed, and then she initiates the left arm with a straight arm. So just see how this left arm is extended, and that just helps control the ball toss. If you bend it too early, that can have the tendency for the ball to go behind you. So really just try and have a straight arm with that left arm. So now what you'll also notice is how the tip of the racket with her right arm is just pointing straight at the floor. And to do that, you've got to be very relaxed to get the tip of the racket just hanging down like that. So what that's telling me is how relaxed she is with the hitting arm, right? So now you can see when the ball's been released, if I draw a line through her shoulders, we can see that the ball tossing arm is above the green line, but the racket head is pointing down, right? So when you're practicing, visualize, can you get in that position if you like this kind of style of serve, pinpoint serve. But this is very common even with ATP players that do a pinpoint step up serve, is they actually all get into a very similar position to this. She was serving well over 100, 110, 120 miles an hour at times, like pretty effortlessly. So it's worth just noting what she's doing. Now the next thing is, so as the ball's on the way up, this is when the right foot joins up with the left foot. So as the ball starts to get to the apex, at the top of the toss, or the apex of the toss, the foot join together, and then she starts her leg drive here. And she puts all the weight down into the ground to get that weight driving down to drive up into the contact. She extends that left arm up, so that's giving her a good stretch through the left side of her body, getting into that nice trophy position. We can see trophy position looks really good. Tip of the racket's pointing up, and she has a really nice elbow position here. So she's got a nice line with her shoulders. But here's what I find really interesting is how I really like the way how she has nice flow. There's no stop. So if you just keep your eyes on this part and I wind it back a bit, just notice how there's no stopping. She has a really smooth shoulder action, and it kind of reminds me when I was watching the Serena and Venus Williams movie, when there was the scene of them throwing the old rackets over the fence. And I can really see how just doing that, making the girls stay really relaxed, and just throwing rackets from one side of the court to another, I can see how that has paid off on her serve actually, because it really looks like she's so relaxed, driving up to the contact, really nice high elbow, great elbow lead, and she's so relaxed through the contact. Great extension with this arm, really good high contact, and you can see she really just pronates that racket. See how the string's almost facing that way, so you can see, because the hands relax, that allows the racket to pronate naturally like that. And I can imagine just throwing those rackets from one side of the court to the other just makes you learn to do it in a really relaxed way. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to having a good serve. So let's just watch one more. So she's super smooth. I really like her serve. And I can see why it's paid off. So ball toss arm initiates. You've got to get to this position on the ball toss release. Rackets relaxing down. And now as the ball gets to the apex, that's when this foot starts to join the right foot. When the right foot starts to join the left foot, you've got to really reach up and extend through the left side of the body, and just keep an eye on this racket arm, how relaxed and smooth it is. It's so, you can see how there's a little bit of a kink in the wrist, and she's basically just got no tension here, and the wrist is almost a little bit floppy getting into the trophy position. There's no delay. It just goes really nice and smooth into the racket drop. And as she gets into the racket drop here, notice how this is when, so you can see her racket's there, the knees are still bent and the racket's starting to fall behind her back. And as she pushes up, the racket naturally lags into that position here. So you can see how the butt cap is just facing straight up, and the strings, the tip of the racket's pointing down. And that's just a natural byproduct of pushing up through the legs, and that's the racket lag phase. And there's just no delay. She makes really good high extension on the contact, and then releases the racket with the wrist on the way through, pronating, and finishes the service motion. So Venus has an awesome serve. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you can take a few things from it and implement it into your own game. If you want your own game analyzed like this, you can send me videos of you serving whenever and wherever you want, and I'll get them analyzed as quickly as possible. Check the link in the description, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again, Jack.